Hello again, Doctor.
Well,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I, I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes.
alright. Let's move this forward here.
I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
Winter. Or autumn.
I thought you'd be an autumn person. That means you're supposed to be grounded and productive. And you like your space.
Maybe. I like autumn because there's still trees, but it's kind of like changing cold and the colors are cool. The winter's good too because it's cold.
Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing.
Dunno, dude.
Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor?
How can I give you advice when you won't tell me?
I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best?
Imagine the rocking chair, but be careful.
Set fire to the rocking chair. I never like the way it moves forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. But it does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
What did you write?
We walk alone without our angel.
Then it jumps to him fucking.
I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else? Thanks, Doctor. I appreciate that. I still don't think I'm ready to move forward in that respect.
Obviously. You should look, but yeah. Making sure you want to look important, I guess.
I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said that they uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day.
What'd you say, pal?
It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation. It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of the ocean.
Movie length.
I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah, just the two of us. It's paradise.
You're obsessed, Fred.
She was interested. Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours. She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and
She's loud
no
as fuck.
blackouts, new doctor and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker.
I don't like her acting, really.
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He
Why
said it
would
was
I?
a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
Cheesy as fuck. Holy fucking good god moly.
It was Valentine's Day. I drink on special occasions. We went out for Valentine's Day. Neither of us had dates, so
Yeah, she says she
I just
likes the cheap
suggested we
vodka
go out
shots
together.
everywhere she goes, but
You
yeah,
know,
she doesn't
rather
drink.
than just sit in with nothing to do. He'd been acting a bit strange anyway, and I thought he could do with a break.
Is that when you bit him with your teeth, man?
I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
I'm not gonna fucking play along here. I mean, I guess we could.
Lots
not
of
on it.
people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. Makes me feel dull by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secret.
Yeah, I don't need the fucking seduction
Sorry
acting.
to cut in, Doctor.
What the fuck?
I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know. Should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum. On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
I should probably write this shit down, but I don't know. We'll just try to freeball the mystery. Apparently whoever did it is like different every playthrough or some shit. What's up, Frizz? Welcome back, brother.
Hey you! Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
What do you think?
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's
Not
what
really.
a trendsetter looks like. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Was Bryce the guy that's annoying as fuck, dude? Yes. Yes, it is.
Claire seems to be shaken by something.
So on
Now, I
PC,
offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
okay, on PC you would like type these all in and try to figure it out, what you can do on this. And I think to a certain extent you still have to. But I actually don't know how this works. Like, does everybody need to be green or some shit? I think that might be a progress thing, which I was totally only yellow with people before. Maybe I have to ask shit. Problem is, I don't really want to type these in slowly. These are very long. Definitely better to play on PC, but
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
he's probably not
Oh,
lovely.
I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Who's Tom? Why are your ass cheeks out? Where'd you get the shoes, Jack?
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
He flew.
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Alright.
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it?
He resigned.
Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go, and only poor Jaya remains.
Jaya.
I've got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that.
Nice. February 11th. Yeah, I'm not probably gonna keep all this stuff in mind because I'm not typing these out anyways. And like, I'm not like crazy into it, but I mean, I'm into it enough, but I don't have to go through Craft and Heart. If I just catch stuff, then I'll go for it, but I'm not, it's only a few kinds of mysteries I would just fucking start writing notes for. I mean, I think he died 10:20 or something. Something like that. 10:30. Some bullshit. And then, what was it? Valentine's Day, and honestly, we barely know any of these folks.
Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that?
I just type trustee.
I think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Dekker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along. We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters... He was sure there was a pattern in them.
It probably was. Right. Who or what is
So he
Cthulhu?
watched the tapes. Gold star for you.
And 50 insanity points reached.
It smashed. Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25.
I guess we'll start with the other shit first. So I can't even write down my own notes to ask shit.
It hadn't even...
What was
hadn't
it?
even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patient?
I should ask, what did he tell you? This might take a bit. I was trying to see if there's like keyboard support. This is why I'm not gonna like push it too hard. I've heard it's very finicky, the questions.
Sorry, Doctor, I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Dekker. Patience.
Most of the patients are suspects.
Same man. Doesn't really work out there. Talk to old creepy Joe here. Mariana.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them.
Don't think we've met a Miss Scarlet, man. Was she the murderer in the lobby with the candlestick, maybe? Maybe in the library. I'm very uncomfortable on these couches. I mean, it looks like an uncomfortable couch.
I was with Dr. Dekker until about 9 o'clock. I remember getting an Uber. It was expensive, and the driver was annoying.
Awesome.
I saw one of your patients, actually, the nurse, when we drove by the pier. She was with someone. I don't think she saw me.
Did she? Now, we might not end up with a good ending or anything. But it's alright. Because I'm not going to type in a shitload of stuff, even though that might be part of the point. But hopefully there's still something good there. Oh, trying to seduce me. Cringy acting does the opposite. You look good, but that's about it.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it.
I guess she's got the fucking octopus necklace. Let's ask about the necklace. No one can resist the winking, man.
Sorry, say that again?
Your necklace.
Clueless.
Not that many options, huh?
You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts.
Fucking cheesy winking, man. That's the
Wouldn't you
secret.
like to know? Is our session up now? drink, only sometimes, like a social drinker. Like a social smoker. They don't smoke either. Yeah, the Uber driver also fished down by the sea. He said he'd seen me lots of times after I washed up. And he told me that I had a great body. I just wanted to get home.
Well,
I don't know anything else about the driver. I've forgotten him already.
if you say so.
I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less.
Zoom in. Sometimes less. Yeah, I like not dancing around. Especially not in my underwear. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, it's just socially right. At least I'm honest about it, man. Like, I just drink when I fucking wanna fuck around with people online or something. Speaking of which, we're gonna have to do that RE4 again, man. Oh wait, I already mentioned that a while back. I don't think I'll be drinking this weekend. Yeah, I'm just always social. I only drink when I'm social, but I'm a very social person.
I have no idea. I just went home. I guess he probably came back here if that's where they found him. People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor?
No.
It sounded like an offer to me, Doctor.
No, I don't think I am.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my
Yeah,
patients,
dude, your
which I would
drink's
never
a
do.
really good option.
Plus, Hilda's getting worse.
Hilda? I remember, I know.
Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way. Hilda wants to see her daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent.
Tell it.
I can change my skin.
Of course.
What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and
Yeah,
I become
it's
them.
sort of themed after that kind of thing.
It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them.
Yeah, the Her Story people made another game as well, but I heard it was a lot worse. And the format's pretty bad, because you have to watch video calls, but like you have to watch them from two different sides. So they'll just be sitting there for like 10 minutes at a time while somebody else is talking and you can't hear that part. And a lot of weird shit like that. And I think you have to mod in like rewind and skip functions and stuff. I've heard it's just really long too. I watched a lot of it. It wasn't as good as Her Story, and Her Story was okay. This one people said is a better version, essentially. Or a better sequel-ish sort of deal. You know, in the same vein. It's interesting. I mean, it's just like a text adventure sort of deal. Her Story, you actually typed in things and it wasn't a big deal, but this one, I just feel like it'd be too much of a pain to type it in. on PS4. Like, it would really be annoying. I'd probably be more into it if I was typing legit. I mean, I'm interested, but more just to get a laugh or see what they fucking do with these like crazy characters.
I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone.
Show me.
No, that's not a question for me.
Maybe she thought I meant the tits or something.
Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to.
What are you used to?
It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know? Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands.
I'm at least gonna try to like ask a
had a bit of a
question
kiss.
vocally before
Then he
I
called
see
a
what the
cab,
options
and
are.
I went home, alone.
Oh.
I think it was about 11 when I left Max.
If I have something to ask.
I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to. If you think I need an alibi.
You're the killer.
This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I don't see why not if nobody ever comes and you had like a connection with them. Wrong on paper, maybe.
Thank you, Doctor. That makes me feel much better. I shouldn't let what Terry says bother me so much.
And if she gave it to you. What's in the locket? Inside, it's supposed to be really finicky at times, so it's gonna be really hard when I try to like just keyword the thing. That's probably not gonna work often, but I'll give it a time.
I think we've got a bit off track. Maybe you should check your notes.
How about you check your goddamn face, man? Oh, see, I do have to do things. I didn't do anything on the other days. What? I have to actually ask questions. It doesn't tell me everything unless I go for hints.
Very interesting that you asked me that. It's not something I can answer,
Of
though.
course. Ellen. Taxi.
One step ahead of you, boss. Elin was picked up from the pier just
Your boss
after
is like,
11
Ellen
PM.
taxi.
There was no way she could have got from there to here in an hour.
What was that? think he already did.
Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me. That's even...
Not what I was going for.
It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation.
Oh. I already heard that. Oh.
His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type.
Is he alive or he's not an octopus? Or what?
I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material.
Why not?
I'm not sure about that.
Ugh. Why is Max not boyfriend material? Too much of this is gonna have quite a bit of playtime here.
I've known Max.
Fucking Christ. No, I guess it don't matter.
I can sense it, you know? It's like when you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. It sounds silly when I put it into words. I sound like my mum.
Mom.
I feel like you're asking me questions about something I don't know.
Mother. You don't know about your own mother?
Sorry, no.
You don't have a mother? Tell me, Mom.
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay.
Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good
Definitely not
mood.
like a conversation
It
type of
didn't seem
thing.
like anything was bothering him.
I would have asked about the mother if this was a real conversation. I feel like them dropping keywords like that and then just not allowing you to follow up, they shouldn't even put it in. I sound like my mother, you know, like after she just mentioned energy and magic kind of shit. How about Cthulhu?
I don't know. Are you happy, Doctor? You seem happy. You have a very positive energy.
Thanks.
No idea.
I'm gonna ask everybody about Cthulhu. Because I can.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, sorry.
I'm not really sure about that.
So you watched the tape?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna ask you about Cthulhu.
Not something I know about.
Don't even say hey today, just walk in. Cthulhu. Question mark.
I don't know.
Do I have to put a question mark maybe?
Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK. Healthcare serial killer. You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off.
Oh, have you?
That's not really important. Ask me something else.
Oh.
Help her finish.
Well, let's go through everybody first.
I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake.
I don't really like
only
her
about
look.
9 or 10. She was fishing,
Not
if
my
you can call it
type
that, with one of those nets on a stick.
at all. Oh, the dual shock battery, man. I'll just let it go for now.
I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
Why wouldn't you be?
David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm
Nice.
sure he'll get better with practice. Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor.
Why not?
Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there.
Why is it up to me? Yes, you can talk to the ghost. Probably some demon. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna fucking say whatever and just see where it goes, man. At least it'll have entertainment. Why does everybody not have their shoes on? Was it that comfy of an office, man? Maybe Guardian made this game.
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
sure I had a spare key for the lake house, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't really need one if David is around. David wasn't there.
One sec.
The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Well, Jesus, that was suspicious. I don't know if they're pushing her as an angle here. She's like the super push, where it's like almost a little too pushy, so that it makes it seem like it's not her. But I don't know if it's truly random who's who, or who's the killer every time.
They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too.
Sweet. Awesome.
I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child.
Insane.
She said she was trying to catch some strange creature that
Murder.
she's seen in the water.
The creature.
I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child. Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces. I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine.
Okay.
It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do. He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes, I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens. Love? Yes. I suppose I always will.
Okay. Guessing green means we're just good. It's Dr. Bryce.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
How so,
When I
friend?
first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move. Because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
I mean, obviously he's doing some crazy shit.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
Hmm. Tell me about the pictures.
I have no idea what you want me to say. Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me.
Am I just supposed to lie?
Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor? I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed.
Changed? How did he change, friend?
He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
Mm-hmm. And you see something behind me.
Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything.
Did he have some ability I forgot about?
I don't know. Yes, I would steal too. And I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Uh-huh. Tell me, friend. What have you stolen? What have you stolen, bub? If I could type, this would be a lot quicker and flow nicer.
Yes.
Bigger things.
From stealing milk, I moved on to petrol. From petrol, well, all those supermarkets have all kinds of electricals, so I've stolen quite a lot of that. I'm not proud. I think I've been doing it because I can, to prove to myself either way, my extra hour is actually real. I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done.
What was that one girl's name? Jasmine?
Sorry, Doctor, I dozed off there.
You know Jasmine, Fred. Whatever you say, man.
Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
Yeah. Smack you in the face.
I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
I've already asked him about behind me.
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
Cremated.
That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me.
Not concerned about you, friend. It's cheaper. Although being buried, they might fucking, someday fucking take a sample of my fucking DNA and regrow my ass, man. Might probably be some slave to some fucking alien race, man. Leave me dead, bro.
That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there.
Tell me about the coffee. How do you like it?
Nope, I've got nothing.
I didn't ask you for a cup. I asked you about. Nathan. Student. Female.
That wretched... Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And
Toxic.
after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway. Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you.
Not good to feed those kinds of things. I can move on to another day, but it looks like there's more shit.
I think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Dekker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along.
type secret shoppers.
I don't know anything about that. It hadn't even been a year.
She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up.
Doesn't seem like you really want us to bring that up, but
She's dead.
okay.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
Loop. Problem is, like, if these like really general keys don't work.
Hello again, Doctor. Hello again, Doctor.
I said we could just move on, I guess.
It was Valentine.
Let's just move on because getting these down to the
Hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
down to
out
the
for
T.
drinks.
I took
It's gonna be a
photos
pain.
of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding.
Photographs.
Like, I'm guessing we're gonna get the general
I haven't
story,
been
but I
back to
might
the
miss some
beach
fun
since.
I had a
details.
bit of a shaky loop
I
incident.
figure
Where I
shit out.
found something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you.
Are we
And
seeing
thanks for the
Ben?
grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
I don't trust you. I don't trust any of you. You all fucking suck. Especially her. Oh, she thinks he's still alive, man. Too much to do today. Oh. Keeper Spike. 8:30 to 10:30. I don't know. I mean, usually I love thinking about how it was done and who done it and shit, but I think the lack of me being able to fully kind of pursue a lot of questions, especially for me, because I'd want to like ask a lot of really fucking random shit, and I'm probably not gonna get answers back. But the problem is I have to do it very slowly. But since I can't do these things that would make me a little more immersed in the mystery solving, I kind of takes me out of that a bit. I think we'll just kind of observe a little more, try to do what we can, but I'm not gonna go like fucking ape shit on it. I'm not, because I mean, it would take forever, man.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside. I don't know what you're after.
We're all playing. I don't know if I just pop in keywords or if to actually like type out a sentence. If it was on like PC, if I was doing it on PC, I'd just type it out fully.
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
What kind of fish? I mean, I definitely respect, how novel I guess this would be.
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
What?
I'm getting tired of all these questions. I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just...
Why are you uneasy?
I don't know any...
Bedroom window. I mean, I guess I could just use hints if I'm gonna be done anyways. To get the story, I don't care about like how well I do. I'd rather just...
Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway. I could have sworn I'd looked there already. That's not relevant. Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway.
Drawer in the hallway.
You don't have to analyze everything I say, Doctor. Sometimes a hallway is just a hallway. And yes, before you ask, the same goes for the drawer.
Okay. You can go now. Thanks for the money. You can leave.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive. He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him. Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a grave digger, I believe.
Okay. Bryce, you were a ball bearer, a testicle bearer.
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least.
What is a pall bearer, anyways?
Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face.
Is it carrying
She
the
wasn't upset in
casket?
the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Of course.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
Exhumed. Bryce.
You're overthinking things.
Am I? Friend. I see we're dressed up today again. Do you ever wear any support? Or is this your usual attire? Alright, what do we got going on? In the ground. Just walks up to her. In the ground. How are we having a conversation with them back and forth too?
Well, that's what he would say, isn't it?
Alright, Pills. Sorry about that. I'm sure you guys are very interested in what Claire has to say here. Talk to my madre. I get some damn. I drink a lot of water lately. Well,
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
should we do that?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's. I have absolutely.
Maybe we shouldn't say Claire's been saying these things. Smuggle bodies. My friend, do you smuggle bodies?
I have absolutely no idea. I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer.
What is classically trained pallbearer? Seems pretty fucking happy with himself.
I'm actually a
Classically trained pallbearer? Oh, I'm actually a classically trained. Yeah. I should probably just ask generic shit before we push.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore, which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody.
Sure you do.
I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it.
Of course.
So I fixed him.
First, tell me about Iris.
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways.
What?
He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Who is Iris? Where did that come from?
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel.
Maybe we'll get to that.
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Doctor said a lot of things, man.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Sorry, drawn.
Shouldn't be. So that was his WoW character, man, even though there's no necromancers. Wow.
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem. I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
Also,
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
but you were. We'll just say no for now.
Thank you, Doctor. So then you'll help me. You'll say I was temporarily insane.
It doesn't work very well, but sure. Why not?
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else. Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my eligibility. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Was it Iris? I guess we jumped
He told me he
ahead.
locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted, a temporary insanity diagnosis. Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Why not?
Very well. In our next session.
Why wouldn't I? We asked the next part of the Iris thing, but
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me.
titillating.
He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way. A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
I do know. Art.
He was stabbed in the heart. Then I'd say whoever killed him didn't want to leave any room for error. You tell me. What could possibly explain that? Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting. I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him.
I've touched him.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Dekker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session.
I'd rather not ask her about that. Who is Iris to Dekker? I mean, I guess just a means of
Think,
getting her to do her
Doctor,
thing.
think. Use your brain.
Doctor, use your brain power.
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him.
Dekker. Lake house.
I think it was a mistake taking Dr. Dekker to see David. Dr. Dekker wanted to examine him, so they went into a different room. I wasn't worried. David wouldn't speak. But Dr. Dekker seemed very distant after that. He didn't say a word on the way back. I think it was a mistake.
What do you think he said?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer. I think it was a mistake taking Dr. Dekker to see David. Dr. Dekker wanted to examine him, so they went into a different room. I wasn't worried. David wouldn't speak. But Dr. Dekker seemed very distant after that. He didn't say a word on the way back.
Dekker and David.
I think it was a mistake.
Dekker. Examine David.
I think it was a mistake.
Maybe David wouldn't talk.
Sorry.
Hey.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
Dead.
Is he really? Actually dead? Hmm? Not a worthy adversary after all, then? Perhaps ask me something physics.
How do you like your fucking scotch, friend?
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories. Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment. Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor? Well, then I'll be brief. According to the laws of quantum suicide, if I were to shoot myself now, then one branch of my timeline would result in my death, whilst the other in my continued existence. I simply applied that logic to something different.
What thing?
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability, but then I changed a parameter.
I'm guessing the parameter is very special.
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while. Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back.
What did he do, man?
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
The hangman's paradox. Can I get the Schrodinger's cat, man? Cheers!
Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science, almost as if he'd have preferred chaos.
Chaos. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Are you sure that question's... Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed? Well, it can't be Tuesday, because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then you know you'll be executed on Tuesday, so it won't be a surprise. Conversely, it can't be Monday either, because, well, you'll be expecting it to be Monday by deduction. Hence, a paradox.
Mm-hmm. I guess so.
Dr. Dekker tricked me. He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all. of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
Vanessa. Do tell me about Vanessa, Professor Warwick. And when do you change into a werewolf?
We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children, at least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science and we'd be... It wasn't to be, though.
Immortality. On this beach lies immortality. Take it, it's yours.
I'm...
You're not aware of immortality?
Well, yes, it bothered me. Especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
It would seem. What the fuck does that mean?
Maybe if you asked me that in a parallel... Nope.
Gonna have to Google it. Thanks, pal.
Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. Do you know, she emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution. I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
Why would Jay ask you to go?
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
No.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen. A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration. They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
Well, the idea is if I tell him no, then he's gonna doubt himself more. And if he decides to do it, then he would fail if we believe his thing. But if I say yes, we might give him the confidence boost he needs. But then I'm also telling him to come play Russian roulette, so yes.
Splendid. I can't lose, Doctor. Let me demonstrate.
Good work, friend. That was pretty random.
That's a strange.
Well, I guess we can't reload that one. We'll just keep rolling him, man.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Why would I want her home address?
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you. Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering. He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
Mm-hmm. Figured it'd be more fun to ask, tell Laura we can do it, but Mariana about Dekker's home visit.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them. Well, maybe someone sneaked your phone during a session and texted. I know they all look innocent, but if it's not nailed down, there's a good chance they'll walk away with it. You know, I used to have an iPad and a Surface.
Are they gone?
Nope. I don't know every.
Steal your iPad.
Have you been taking notes in our session? I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
We didn't even talk to him.
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people. I don't know. I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
And
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
Alderby.
That's not something I know about.
Misjudged Dekker.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
Dekker connection. The French connection.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Competition.
Sorry, I didn't. Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
No.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Psychokinesis.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan.
Kojak.
Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
Whoops. Well, I guess my thing wasn't really just like that.
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away? No, not at all in my experience.
No idea.
Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
I don't remember this many bad teeth and reach myself, but you know, it was a spin-off. They, you know, flooded kind of eldritch.
Things could escalate. Building trust is one thing, but at what cost?
Don't know.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
I did. Yeah, this game's interesting. It's novel for sure. Because I'm playing it on PS4 though, actually trying to type out all this shit if I want to ask more specific kind of leading kind of questions and stuff is hard to do, especially because it's kind of finicky on what they want. It looks for specific keywords. So my kind of plan is to just hit yellow every day, which means you're kind of clear, and ask obvious things if I want to know more that I think will get a reaction. And any kind of actual big choices, I don't know, I just kind of do whatever. Like somebody just shot themselves in the head because I told them to do something. I was just like, I don't know, we're just kind of playing it. If I had a keyboard and shit, I might care more, but we're just kind of rolling. It's kind of a murder mystery. You're supposed to figure things out and kind of unravel the story and who's all actually crazy and such and eldritch bullshit. But because I can't really ask the kind of questions I want to ask and it'd take too long, we're just going off the list they give me, and then I ask certain things. I'm not gonna write shit down, but I'm gonna get some water real quick actually. I'll be right back. But no, I'm probably gonna get into Reach closer to the weekend. Some of the one of the co-op legendary partners needs a few extra days because he has some stuff he needs to do. And I didn't expect to get these games in on rent so quickly. So I figure I'm gonna finish up East over the next 2 days, and this will probably take another stream. And then I'll probably start messing with maybe some maybe Reach multiplayer during the day, or maybe I'll catch up on some YouTube bits so we can prep for Reach and do a mix some Doom stuff and Reach and multiplayer and all that for a few days. So I'm not as excited for Reach's campaign, but I do want to do it. I'm really pumped for 1 through ODST though. I need my slippers again. 1 sec. Probably only be on for another, what time is it right now? Maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour, if that. We'll just see when I'm kind of feeling it. I've got to go to the dock, get a little thing done at 9. That's in 2.5 hours, so I'd like to clean up before then and maybe chill for a bit. I won't chill too much. I want to fall asleep. I don't know, the story in this is like okay so far. It's interesting to kind of know what they're heading at. And how much of it's truly some kind of Eldritch kind of thing going on or what's not. Problem is I feel like you're just kind of waiting for that payoff. And I'm not like super caring a shitload about their personal things. Maybe a bit, but...
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor? Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure, watching me and following me. I followed it too.
Mm-hmm. Who is that?
I don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead. I need to talk to you about him.
First.
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
How do you feel? How do you? It takes time to do this kind of shit.
No.
It just doesn't work. How are you? It takes too long to just do this.
I'm fine. It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know.
And it's not really like,
that
they're not like a
most
flow.
psychokinetic patients are diagnosed
One
as
sec.
insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
But anyways, I remember I said there's not really like a flow to the conversation because you can kind of like have them talk about something and then come back to like way later. That would depend a lot more on how you said something where it doesn't really matter. So in that sense, you're not gonna have that feeling of like a flow. It's a lot more gamey where you just kind of like guess words and shit.
I was
But
at
I don't
home
know.
on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before. Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Yes.
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level. Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already. I don't know anything.
Just seeing if she'd get a rise out of that.
Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that. I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Okay. Natty.
I didn't really
Do you know Nathan?
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker.
Because of his time loop.
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all.
Nathan said he talked to you a lot.
I didn't.
Guess not.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy. I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me.
It's
Sometimes
true.
you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power. Ah, the curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
Did you burn the chair that I asked you to burn?
You've asked me that already. No. Wait, maybe that was yesterday.
Burn chair.
I don't know anything.
We'll get to it, I'm sure.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, "You can't just say things and they happen." He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration. He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Was that supposed to be like a figurative thing there, or is that some real
I
big
didn't forget
graphics?
seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked. I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again, but I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know. He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist. He told me lots of people get depression, to become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Yeah. Well, we've asked about Jaya.
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker.
I didn't really.
I burned Hannah's rocking chair. The day moved forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in. I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up. I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Sorry, bud.
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
Let's not, brother.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way. You told me not to look for anyone else until I was ready. So I didn't. I've just been sitting at home, reading Hannah's diary, stewing. I ordered a pizza. A nice girl delivered it.
Okay.
It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
Got him. How big is the tip, man?
That's not really relevant.
Sure it is. Pizza girl smile.
It took a week. It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
KDkill on the case, man. Yeah, dude. Got an emote thanks to Tracker's Cheer. Thank. That is a creepy fucking emote, dude. Thank you for the sub, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're some kind of doctor. I mean, I've already had somebody shoot themselves in the head, but more out of confidence than sadness. Yeah, very creepy. See, I'm not the best doctor, but we're doing stuff. The turtle dove. Jesus. Those are all creepy as hell. That dreidel's super creepy. Look. I don't really care about the pizza girl thing that much more. Money does make you happy. Let's just pull that classic out. I think it's important. It's already back, dude. I don't know if the emotes this time are quite up there.
If I cared about money that much, I wouldn't be working at a supermarket. I'm just trying to care about something.
At least that our arm would have some kind of use, right? I'm trying to think of where I would use this other than to be a super creep, man. I'm not gonna accuse him of killing Dr. Dekker.
You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light. Deep in the ocean somewhere. I head towards it because it's warm and glowing like a beacon.
Your arms are
Right
hairy.
at the bottom, it's the most beautiful.
Wait, were we saying some shit? Sorry, I was
like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home. And then I wake up.
That's the bathroom light. Sorry. I'm very big seductress, but the acting's really odd, so the seductress part comes off as fucking odd. How are you?
Okay.
After that.
Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
No, you can't have any money. What's rent day?
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
Oh shit. Why was that even a thing? Armpits. Are you wanting me to get a sniff or something? What's with all the stretching, man? What's going on here? What are you trying to say?
It's so beautiful. It calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor?
Sorry, I thought of something. I was spit on my fucking drink. I was gonna ask her about her bug teeth in the fucking in the thing, but I don't know why I thought that would be hilarious.
I don't know.
Yeah, never heard of those, right? That's right. Not a bad looker, man. I thought that was fucking too good. That was one of those things like you just have a little laugh, but because you're trying to stop your laugh, you laugh more.
Yes, I suppose I follow that glow like people follow me. I still don't know what it means, though. I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach? Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine. I really...
Address.
You'll have...
Text. Wait, home session. Let's do that.
Try again?
Fuck you.
Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry. I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
Not quite.
I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget.
Oh, spinner? You like to spin?
Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention. Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that.
Are you some kind of fucking siren, man? Is that what you're going for here?
They follow me. Wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor? It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then
Yeah.
leave.
Don't know, man.
Other places, they just
I think that's the
disappear.
creepiest thing,
I don't see them again.
creepiest fucking thing I've seen all night, man. This game doesn't have much on it. What do you guys see in the Rorschach test, man? All I see is 4 creepy dreidels. I'm afraid.
They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice. Yes, Doctor, sometimes they follow me to the beach, and the next thing I remember, I'm blacked out.
2 pairs of
And naked. Shivering in the sand. Who knows what happened to them?
They're dead, Jim.
It's just good manners to accept when someone offers to buy you a drink. I'm a very good-natured girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell
Don't you
me.
think I'm sweet, Doctor?
No, you're not sweet. We'll let that one just settle for a bit before I answer that. We're not gonna say you're not sweet. I'm probably just not gonna say shit.
Yes. They follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
Do they follow you to bed? Probably need to watch
Are
it.
we still
Sorry.
talking about him? And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor.
No. Stop fucking seducing me.
Dr. Dekker suggested home visits. I think he was probably checking up on
I'd
his
say for you. Well, considering.
You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor?
No. Not with you.
That's good. I'm not sure I can afford any more of your time.
After all that, do they follow you to bed? I just couldn't hold it in any longer. Considering I just had a man kill himself in front of me, I don't think we're doing a very good job when it comes to our career path here.
I'm okay, I suppose. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry's.
No, it was like a.
I feel a bit sad, to be honest.
It wasn't out of like a
They all
depression
my
thing.
keepsakes back.
He believed in quantum suicide or some kind of quantum theory where if you willed something enough and you staked everything on it, that you would jump into it. Your conscience would jump into a timeline where it happened. But because Dr. Dekker made him doubt himself, he lost all of his money on when he was doing it for gambling. Like he was gonna try a Russian roulette thing where some people were gonna have him do 6 things of Russian roulette to see if his theory was right for a lot of money. And they was like, well, do you think I should do it or not? I'm like, well, if I say no and he goes and does it, then he's not gonna have the confidence. But if I say yes, maybe he'll have the confidence and it'll work. Assuming it's real. So I just said yes for fun, but then he just shot himself in the head. Just to see. I was like, oh, sweet, dude. Guess that's one less dude I gotta talk to every day. How's Hilda?
Hilda's nearing the end. She's been sleeping a lot, not eating much.
Where's the necklace?
She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday. It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, you know? I'm trying to help her, but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight. She hasn't got much time left. Well, I've thought about it, and well, I know you said it was okay that I should keep them, but maybe it did look a bit suspicious, me having things that have belonged to patients who've died in my care. I don't want people to get the wrong idea about me. The locket, the watch, the ring, even the little bird Sarah Dekker gave me. I wasn't supposed to mention her.
Too late.
Dr. Dekker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago. Ask me something else.
It's a person, not a dud.
Dr. Dekker's mother.
I hope I don't have to put punctuation, dude.
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, you just...
Dr. Dekker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago. I've been a nurse for ages, but I've only worked at the nursing home for the last year. I tend to move around quite a bit. I get quite fidgety if I stay in the same place too long.
That has nothing to do with what I asked.
You know the answer to that, Doctor. What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
You're going to kill Hilda.
That's the plan. I know, it sounds unbelievable, like I'm making it up. I wish I could prove it to you somehow. We could try shifting now. Think of someone you really love. It might help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them? Can you picture them? Okay.
How about some cheesy
Hold on.
CG here?
Sorry. I don't think it's going to work. On the bright side, that probably means you're not going to die anytime soon.
Okay. Well, it looks like it sort of worked there.
It's tricky. I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say. I say things like, it's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum, or I love you, Dad. But it doesn't really matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version. That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality.
What about Sarah Dekker, though? Is she a replicant?
Dr. Dekker's mother.
Whatever, dude.
Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self. Maybe she's got a bug or something.
Okay.
Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, Doctor, do you really think that what I'm doing is wrong?
Not really.
Good, because I really feel this is something I have to do.
I mean, it's not like morally super in the right, but I think it's not like a fucking bad thing. If somebody's on their way out and you're pretending to be somebody to give them some solace at the end of their life. I mean, if there's nothing afterwards anyways or some shit, you might as well make it okay, and it's not like it's hurting them. They've got nothing left. As long as it's not affecting her, I don't see why it'd technically be bad. Although I've not been very anti anybody's power shit, if any of it's even real, so. We saw what happened there, Smith killed himself, so.
I know it's silly, but those things meant a lot to me. They were reminders that I'd helped those people.
Let's do Sarah Memento.
Is that really what you want to talk about?
Yes, that's why I asked it.
It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Dekker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike. Dr. Dekker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. At this bit, here, between his thumb and his finger. He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any. I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real. Dr. Dekker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake. It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't. It just makes things complicated, doesn't it? I knew Dr. Dekker's mother before I started seeing Dr. Dekker. She's dead, and now he's dead. I'm sure you're going to have a field day with it.
Not really.
Yeah, that's the reason I came to see him. I knew she was dying, but he refused to talk to me unless I booked a session, so I did. And well, here we are. I told Dr. Dekker that his mum was dying.
His mum.
That he should see her before it's too late. But he wasn't interested. It wasn't like he hated her. It was just like it wasn't important. He asked me to take care of it for him. He did send his assistant along to see her once. Sorry, your assistant. No. It was about the second, third session we had. He said he could tell that I was a good person, that I wanted to help people, and that I should think really hard about how I could do that. That's how I discovered shifting.
And I'm shifting.
All Dr. Dekker did was encourage me to think. But the shifting, that's all me. And my mum's a psychic, and my sister's an empath, but I was just ordinary. I always felt like I wasn't special, like I was missing out. But I wasn't. I just hadn't discovered what I could do yet. Sarah Dekker was one of the first ones I tried shifting for.
Tell me about that.
I didn't really know what I was doing that first time. I mean, I didn't actually expect anything to happen. I just thought, what would really help this woman? I thought maybe she would just imagine that he was there. But it actually happened. I changed into him, Dr. Dekker. It blew my mind.
What happened after that?
I don't know. My mum's got these spirit guides and they tell her things. Mostly about my love life, it would seem.
Really? Oh, thank God I made that doctor's appointment early, because I'm already fucking not ready to fucking go to bed.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know what an empath is. I should probably Google it sometime.
Yeah. Google this. I'm just making sure I got like an alarm set for my appointment, because I lose track of the time or fall asleep or something. So I probably won't be on too much longer. But if I get off too early, I'll sit here comfy and fall asleep.
As far as I know, it only works on people who are close to death. That's the whole point of it. I have to hold their hand, and they have to think of the person, and they have to be near death. And those seem to be the 3 criteria. I don't know anything about.
Alright, Bryce. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely more of a, you know, kind of slow burn type of thing. When I'm sitting here in a big comfy blanket and warm as fuck and ready to sleep. Yikes. I mean, I gotta drive like, well, I'm not gonna be driving, but we're gonna go, it's like 30, 40 minutes away, so I like to be awake for when they're give me the old slash rooski. Let the military be following you. Alright, buddy.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
Yeah, but I don't think they're after
Would
you.
you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
I get it, buddy. It's nudes. It is nudes. And he has an extra hour every day where everybody's frozen and everything's frozen but him. He like scripts people and takes pictures of him and other stuff, steals shit. And if he says he loves somebody, I'm sure he went and fucking gave him a good stripping. I guess I don't have to look at it. If I'm gonna get fucking Paper Mario and just explode if I do it, I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me. I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
Not your type.
I did nothing. I'm not stealing any more.
Good.
I split the brawl up. I spied on Dr. Dekker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
That's Iris, bro.
I've nothing interesting. I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time.
A
I mentioned
woman.
how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained. I removed the chains,
Oh, that's how
dressed
she
her,
got out.
and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil. Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand. I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind.
Are we still on the same day? I didn't even realize it's still a clear day. Jesus Christ. I fucking did not know.
What? She was actually his prisoner. Bryce saved Iris? So that's 2 favors I owe Bryce now. And Iris? I'd probably have stopped her death if I'd known it was real. I suppose I should have a chat with her now.
Okay. Iris chat.
It didn't happen.
And they spell favors with a U? Yes, they would, huh? That might be always how it's been spelled. I do just no U.
Smuggling a body.
Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected. I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today. It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw?
Worm.
My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle, like magic. I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Dekker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real? When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see? Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females. But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though.
Okay. We're just gonna let that one sit. Next day.
You can stop looking at me like that. You've made me do this. And don't try and escape. You're all tied up. Now tell me the truth. Is this a dream? That's the wrong answer, Doctor.
Okay, slap.
This is most definitely a dream. Now, tell me, do you believe that people can have kinetic powers?
Sure.
And how do we treat people with kinetic powers? Do we encourage them or do we discourage them? Very good, Doctor. That's the right answer. Remember it, or there will be consequences. Now, since I'm here, let's have a little bit of fun. Shall we, Doctor?
Fun.
There's someone else in my hour.
I brought David back to life.
I removed the chains, dressed her.
It was Iris.
We could try shifting now.
Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Sorry.
We've both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind.
I'm not broke.
It's no coincidence that most
I'm gonna
psychokinetic
encourage
patients
everybody.
are
Grateful if you could see your way to declaring me
insane, or at least
temporarily insane.
There was no flame. And then there was.
I'll kiss a guy,
I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
and then he just follows me
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
wherever I go.
I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
I wonder how much the choices actually matter in this shit, man.
Morning, Doctor. You're looking a bit unwell. Are they getting you all wound up? Well, have a look at this. I found it in Dropbox. Apparently, Dr. Dekker lent Mariana some money. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? I also got the toxicology report back from Officer Yates, and shocker, Dr. Dekker had... Sorry, you just have to read it. I should have spoiler alert tattooed on my forehead. And can we not do the grief counselling thing today? I'm all sorts of behind on work and I'm getting more stressed out watching it all pile up. If you need anything though, I'm here.
What about the guy who killed himself? Are we good on that? Glenn. Scarlet. Didn't Dekker date her? Oh, Bryce. Oh. Probably a lot of extra things you can get to and talk about and adjust, but don't really care too much. Ellen. the sleeping pill. What are you doing? Get off my couch, bitch. Nathan, my man, what's going on here? I should probably look at these real quick. Yeah, like something like that. I don't know. Ethanol. Benzo. Diazepine. I mean, Jessica was the one who liked the pills, dude. Oh, wait. I mean, that makes it seem like Mariana would have a reason to kill him because she wouldn't have to pay him back. But there was no interest. There was 3 years. I don't imagine. I should tell all the patients I can stop their problems. Perhaps I should avoid her till later. Yeah. He does like long nights at the beach. Alright. We're done for now. Stats. What the hell? Searches made. Responses found. Act progress. Oh, was that during this particular thing? Overall progress. I'm actually moving along. Probably because I don't have to type anything, so I just non-stop. Well, I'd continue, but like I said, I'm gonna, I've got to go about an hour and 20 or so. So, wish I could just pop over there, right? It's kind of a pain, but, yeah. Next when the stream's on, if it's early enough, I don't know when I'm getting back exactly. If I don't get back super late, I'll hit the hay. We'll probably get on, try to do some more of this. And then try to get to near the end of East. I think Godo said I probably wouldn't be able to finish. And then we'll finish this after that. Kind of like how we're doing it today. I think if we're 65%, I mean, I've done like 4 or 5 hours today. I'm not going to replay it. Well, I'll watch it online maybe. It's interesting. I'm interested. I'm curious where it's going to go. I think the concept, like I said, is novel. I think playing on PC and probably trying to guess the stuff yourself is good. Getting really in there, gritty, down dirty with it, trying to get all the little details is probably a cool way to get immersed in it. Not just too annoying to do on PS4. But I am interested in it, kind of like a surface level, What's the twist going to be? Who's the person who's killed him, I guess. I'm more interested in more just how the kind of Eldritch shit is supposed to tie in more than who killed the guy. If I'm supposed to assume my dude's crazy, they're crazy, all this shit's real or not, just to leaving it kind of up to interpretation. So it's cool enough. That's interesting. Yeah, everyone's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it definitely kind of covers that Lovecraftian kind of like psycho mode kind of shit. But everybody in that was crazy because they actually had witnessed shit. Where this is like we don't actually know if they're crazy kind of deal. So it's different, but it does deal a lot with like psychological type of shit. Everybody's referring back to some kind of power thing, but I feel like it's developed enough, and the stories are developed enough, and the characters and stuff, that the powers don't seem too crazy. The acting's fine enough, I'd say too. Some of it can be cheesy, especially the seductress girl. Not everybody can pull off. I mean, she looks good, but I mean, like, not everybody can pull off the seducer thing. And I guess I'm not easily, like, you know, I mean, like, whoa. Like, why would I be random playing a game? But yeah, everybody's crazy. Maybe my dude's crazy. Maybe they're crazy. I imagine there's a lot of choice difference in how you handle things. Whether you answer certain things, ask them certain things. You know, I try to be realistic sometimes with stuff, not ask things I think will be a tightrope, but games want you just to kind of do things anyways, even though in a normal conversation I wouldn't do it. I might miss out on stuff, and we're not taking them to the green, we're just taking them to the yellow, and then I ask extra questions if I can, but it takes too long to type everything to go much crazier than that. So yeah, anyways. Appreciate you guys watching. Put this somewhere. I don't really know where. I've got so many controllers sitting over here. Put it over here. I'm gonna chill for a little bit. Get ready to leave. Hopefully I don't sit here and fall asleep. We'll be on to finish these later. Appreciate the subs again, brothers. And you guys just watching, hanging.